Hi, welcome. Today's topic is going to be very different and interesting. Today we will talk about fame. What is the dictionary meaning of fame? Fame means when you are famous and recognized for your achievements and for your skill. Anybody can have it. It is not necessary. You could be anyone known for your skills or achievements. You might be a businesswoman and housewife. People recognize you. Or as a professional excelling at work, acknowledged and famous. You can be a housewife and a businesswoman. So people recognized for your achievements or a professional who is very good at their work, who excels in their company, is appreciated, has an identity, and is famous. Social media blurs fame and defame. People don't get it or don't care. But with growing social media, where it is not difficult to connect or stay in limelight, there is differentiation between fame and defame. People are not understanding this. It doesn't matter. Just because someone is defamed, does it mean they won't have a name? It doesn't make any difference. Famous, but because of trivial reasons. Very few people stay in the limelight because of their achievements. Good. There are many people who stay in the limelight because of bad things. We also look at fame astrologically. There can be many levels of being famous. That aunt in our neighborhood, the one in our building who knows all the information, and everyone connects with her. To get information, everyone knows that this aunt will tell everything. Their charts will also have combinations of fame because they know everything, and everyone wants to know them. Or be famous on a larger scale, meaning not just famous within your community. Now, you are recognized globally. There is a divisional chart for that, which is very useful. Let's understand the astrological viewpoint by looking at the fame chart. How can we tell that this native will gain fame? Now, being famous doesn't mean that you are very connected to everyone. You can also be a personality and still be famous because you are being recognized for your work. So, in this, along with dedication, the house and lot also become very important. Let's get started. So, fame. From an astrological viewpoint, who gets fame first? We get it. When it comes to fame, the ascendant must have a very strong lot. Be good. If the ascendant lot is well placed, dignified in the 3rd, 11th houses and in Upachaya houses, because you are ready to come out of your comfort zone and prove yourself, which are the supportive houses. The supportive houses are the centers. By dividing all of these, we will understand the 4th, 7th, and 10th houses. What is the difference in this? And how do they contribute to fame? So, which are the supportive houses and lords? The centers and trines only provide support. Those are not the fame houses. How? We will discuss that further. After that, if the ascendant lord is well placed in all these houses, if you have good combinations and good yogas, then the chances of gaining fame are very high. Now, let's understand the centers. Why? We've taken centers. The 4th house signifies the masses. The 4th house also represents the state government, while the 10th house signifies the central government, and that shows fame. Whenever the ascendant lord goes into the 10th house, or when the time period of the 10th lord comes, the chances of gaining maximum fame increase, and the dasha is also running in that direction. Now, does the 7th house also indicate people working across in life? It also shows the opposition. So the more support there is from the 4th house, especially when the 4th lord or the 10th lord is a friend of the ascendant lord and involves the ascendant lord in a yoga, the chances of gaining fame increase significantly. When you are recognized on a mass level, what problems arise with the 7th? It goes into opposition. Like the 1st, 5th, and 9th houses show our lineage. If you have a strong 1st, 5th, and 9th, so your lineage will be good. If you have strong 3rd, 7th, and 11th houses, which means the people in your opposition will be good. Like the people with whom you mingle, they are good. And if they are there to support you, that can be a reason for your love and for your growth. Now, if the 1st house is also good, if the ascendant lord is in the ascendant, then that's great, but it shouldn't be afflicted. First thing. Second thing, when the ascendant lord is in the ascendant, it should be well connected with other planets, and there are yogas for being famous and having love. So what will happen is that you might become famous, but like content by self. So here, they should keep in mind, or they should try not to get too involved in themselves. Trini houses are significant. In the fifth house, use intellect for growth. A favorable lord leads to fame. Because trines are always friendly, they are beneficial lords and beneficial houses. So, in the fifth house, you apply your intellect for progress and growth. Nothing comes easily on a platter. You have to use your mind. If the Lord is good, if the Lord of luck is favorable, it helps you and leads you towards fame, taking you there easily. It means that you did a little bit of work, like 10% or 20%, and luck also supported you. The 11th house is generally considered to be for fame and recognition, the house of desire and wish fulfillment. So that was about the house and the house lord. Now let's move on to the next point. The 10th house shows our actions and recognition. Because we are known not just because of ourselves, but more because of our actions. This note is also present and self-focused for a time, but if we want people to know us, appreciate us, or recognize us for a long time, we need to consider our actions. It's not just about liking. If we keep it in our minds, the reason is the 10th house and the 10th lord going into the ascendant, the 9th or the 11th being involved in good yogas, also gives recognition and identity. Next, after discussing the houses of fame, let's talk about who the significators of fame are. They may not sun and the moon. The sun and the moon are both luminaries, but in this case, the moon should be strong. If it's the waxing phase of the moon, then it has some vitality. Sometimes the moon is in the brighter half, but it doesn't have much vitality. After that, Jupiter and Venus. Basically, the moon and Jupiter are the significators of fame. What happens with the sun and Venus is that they cannot stay alone. They like the limelight, right? If sun and Venus link to the 10th house or ascendant, they bring light there. And Venus is also a bright star. If a connection between the sun and Venus with the 10th house or the ascendant, people naturally get attracted to work. It becomes hard for you to ignore it. After that, fame means illusion. Now, when it comes to illusion, we will put all of this aside. If Rahu gets positively involved in any yoga, it takes that pain to a global level that no one even thought of. We should forget the basic. Discussing yogas means the house dispositor must be strong. If the ascendant lord is well placed in the 10th house and the 10th lord is a strong friend, fame will last. The ascendant lord should be in a friendly or gentle sign in the D line. If the ascendant lord is well placed in the 10th house and the 10th lord is a friend of the ascendant lord and is strong, then the probability of fame will be very high. In the D line, it should be in a friendly sign. If you consider the 10th lord as well, then fame will persist. In the D line, a friendly sign with the 10th lord brings fame. Here, even if you take 10 lots and the fame will remain in continuity. Here we should talk about long-term fame because getting short-term fame or being famous for some time is not difficult these days. In this, friendship and enmity rules should not be forgotten at all. Leo and Cancer signs are linked to fame. Cancer or Leo rising leads to fame. Auspicious yogas enhance fame. Cancer or Leo rising can bring fame. Key yogas like Raj Yoga boost fame. Benefic planets in certain houses create auspicious yoga. When we talk about yogas, if there are center, triangle, or Raj yogas, that helps you to be in the limelight for a very long time. And if auspicious yogas are formed from the ascendant or the 10th house, it enhances the chances of fame. 11 benefic planets are in the 6th, 7th, and 8th houses. Auspicious yogas are created. Additionally, if 11 benefic planets are in the 3rd and 4th houses, it promotes growth. Fame is often found in charts. And if there are 11 benefic planets in the 3rd house, 4th house, and then in the house, it also promotes your growth through auspicious yogas. Now, when you need fame at a certain level, you will find this in many charts. Then it will seem like maybe this isn't working. But D66 is very important for global fame. In fact, if you want to analyze many celebrity charts or look into timing, the D60 chart reveals why they gain such fame. Now, who runs away but from fame? When we said that, there are sun and winners. Those who want to stay in the limelight cannot be alone. Ketu and Saturn are involved. They feel that, yes, this is our work, so we have done it. But when Saturn comes to give fame, it comes with a lot of weight. Let's say, if it is in a Night Lord combination, it ensures that you are liked by the masses. Because it is in the 7th house. Now, the 4th house also represents the masses and shows that class. These are two different things. Class, because it relates to authority. After that, we talk about defame. If the ascendant lord is in the 10th house, we have discussed good houses. Now let's talk about all the houses. In the 8th part, the 12th, and repeatedly, in the 12th part, it indicates isolation and loss. Here, they are suffering. So now the reputation is getting damaged. Adversities are coming in life and no one recognizes you. In isolation, they are living in their own sorrows, stuck in their own problems. And the 12th house is generally associated with loneliness. Having said that, if these houses, the 6th, 8th, and 12th houses, which we are criticizing so much, the houses are our playground. We said that the 6th house indicates enmity, shows fighting. The 8th house indicates slander. And repeatedly, it signifies isolation. But the 6th house also indicates that if a good yoga is being formed in the 6th house, when you get a film from there, you are moving forward by defeating the enemy. If the 8th house is getting such a film, this means research. In fact, I am also gaining fame because of astrology. Because of these special practices, you immediately find a failure in the 12th house that you are recognized globally as that lady from that country or that man from that country. Don't speak negatively about houses. Bad things may happen in houses. Houses are important. It could be that something bad is happening in the 10th or 9th house. Then, because of your perspective, because of your actions, you might be facing defame. So remember that houses are important. But the yogas become even more important than the houses. When we talk about fame in Aruda Lagna, it indicates that yes, it's like sowing on a peepal tree. If there is one dignified planet placed in Aruda Lagna, then you will be known. Due to the significance of that planet, if there is no planet in Aruda Lagna, choose a dignified planet. It should be strong. Weakness is unfavorable. It should be in a friendly sign, its own sign, strong. If it is weak, then that's not a good thing. Let's understand with an example chart today about Sachin. Let's talk about this chart. First, we will start with the Lagna, which has gone into the umbrella of the Lagna Lord. We said that they want to prove themselves. They want to do something. By going to the 6th house, he is with Rahu, the significator of illusion, who is also looking at their 10th house, while Jupiter and Mars are looking at the Lagna. Jupiter is the lord of fortune for this chart. Mars is the lord of the 5th house. My 5th lord is in the 7th house. Also, Jupiter is debilitated and Mars is in its own sign. Thus, Mars reduces Jupiter's debilitation. Okay, but I've also noticed that Jupiter is in a debilitated position and Mars is in its own sign. This means that Mars is reducing the lowliness of Jupiter. I don't rely on fate. I am working hard. Because I am determined and I am using my intellect, the 5th house also signifies sports, and Mars, being the significator of sports, is in a strong position. In the 7th house, looking at me without caring about fortune. Success isn't by chance. I worked hard. The 10th house, ruled by Mars, contains Sun and Venus, Lord of 4th and 11th houses. I have worked very hard here because in the 10th house, which is ruled by Mars, there are the Sun and Venus. Venus is the lord of the 4th and 11th houses. The 4th house we took for Mars and the 11th for reorganization. Both of them are natural significators of fame, and the Sun is also in a strong position here and is a friend of the Lagna Lord. The sign in which the Sun is placed, the sign in which Venus is placed, that sign is the beginning. The husband is also in a strong position. Looking back at the 10th house and the Lagna, these were all the reasons for him to gain global fame. But we talked about how friendship and enmity are very important for us. Jupiter is a friend, Mars is a friend, and although the Sun is a friend and strong, why would Venus help me? Venus is not a friend of the Lagna Lord. It is positioned in the 10th house, along with the Sun. This is Venus' contribution. He is bold in a good yoga. But will the Sun allow Venus to spoil things? Nothing at all, because he is a friend of the Lagna Lord. He is much stronger. He is dignified. So here, the Sun will be more prominent compared to Venus. If we talk about their Aruda Lagna, their Lagna Lord is in the 6th house. And from the 6th, the 11th house is where Taurus is placed. So Taurus becomes their Aruda Lagna, where Saturn is sitting in a dignified position. Saturn is in a friendly sign and is also aspected by Jupiter, which is why they will know about Saturn's traits, which are consistency, persistent effort, and hard work. The fame they received was mostly during Mars's time period, which continued during Rahu's time as well. Just holding on for 2 seconds for the South Indian version and talking about Rajneesh Ji's chart, they also gained fame, but that fame brought many struggles and problems. Now, the house or reason for their fame is the 8th house, and Sagittarius represents both spirituality and religion. The Lagna Lord is in the 8th house, and there is an association with Mercury and Saturn. Mercury and Saturn are the lords of the 5th and 9th houses, which are both supportive lords, and Saturn, being the 10th lord, is a Yoga Karaka planet for this Lagna. So, the association of Venus with Mercury and Saturn is very good. When I needed help, my 4th lord and my enemy were sitting in the 7th house, looking at my Lagna from the opposite sign. So, my association was with Mercury and Saturn, but there are also the Moon and Mars, which are not functional planets for this chart. The Moon is the 3rd lord, and Mars is the 12th lord, which created problems for my 4th lord. When the Sun sat in the 7th house and looked at me, it gave me fame but also added many troubles to my life because of Scorpio. But he was very famous because of the Sagittarius traits that are in the 8th house. If you look at their Aruda Lagna, the Lagna Lord is in the 8th house, and if I see it this way, it becomes the 3rd house. Here, Jupiter is in a strong position, so there will be non-Jupiterian traits. The thing is, Jupiter is retrograde there, so don't forget that. Their thinking process was different and unique, and it wasn't easily understood by everyone. Naturally, the stronger the Lagna Lord, the 10th Lord, and planets like the Sun and Venus in your chart, the easier it will be for you to gain fame. And if these same planets get involved in a bad combination or are in a negative house, that can lead to defame. The same chart in the South Indian version today should give you a basic understanding of how to look at someone's chart and tell if they can be famous. This person will be liked or not liked by many, and whatever they do and whoever they are, thank you so much.